More Mars anomalies. Construction. A massive temple spotted on Mars is identical to an ancient Japanese tomb. And this is it. You cannot say it's a normal geological feature. We've had other NASA images. Look at this glass dome at the top of the hill there. And before that, there was a guard post. What is going on? Things like this, looking like a structure of some kind of a lion face, four-legged creature. And of course, we all know about the pyramids on Mars. Pyramids on Mars, the face on Mars. And recently, I even found the Delphic Epsilon on the Hellas. This is the face and the temple, the pyramids to the 5 o'clock position. And the Delphic Epsilon found on Mars in the Hellas area, the area of Greece. And this to me looks like a severed or a part of a face of a statue. Even the coloring is different. And, this is the Delphic Epsilon that I found recently in the Hellas area of Mars on Google Mars, and there it is. It's an epsilon stuck on an E stuck on an E. That's the Delphic Epsilon, and a lot of other construction in that constructed things. That does not look at all geological. It is so symmetrical, right angle triangles, Delphic Epsilon. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. We have a lot of legends and ancient myths, especially from Greece, saying that the Atlanteans were extraterrestrial, and the quote-unquote gods of Olympus of ancient Greece were the offspring of these extraterrestrials that caused these demigods, or the Athenian Olympic gods of ancient Greece, to have special heights and abilities. And they also had spaceships, and they had interstellar travel. And we also have the Emerald Tablets that talk to us about the Atlantean technology, and that one of their generals was exiled on Mars. Of course, that was before the destruction of Mars, when Mars had a temperate climate. And he was buried under the face of Mars. His other generals in his entourage were buried under the pyramids of Mars, not far from his face. The face on Mars that he was buried under. We have the Sumerian king list, where these people lived tens of thousands of years. And you'll see some videos before this one where a lot of detailed information comes to light there. But this massive temple spotted on Mars, which looks just like the ancient Japanese tomb, according to satellite images from the red planet Mars, there's a massive temple on Mars that is identical to an ancient Japanese tomb. There are some truly fascinating things on Mars. Baffling structures located in the surface eerily resemble massive temple on Earth, and UFO hunters claim there is a mind-boggling connection between the two. So this, again, raises more questions than answers. Does that mean that the ancient mythologies are in fact true concerning ancient technology and flight and space flight? The last couple of years, intriguing theories have been proposed suggesting that in the distant past, a catastrophic event or a nuclear war destroying a sophisticated Martian civilization, forcing its survivors to immigrate to Earth and restart civilization. Well, in one of my yesterday's videos, you'll notice that ancient Greek texts believed that there was a space war between Venus and the moon. Those, of course, extraterrestrial humans living on the moon and Venus. We even know that valiant Thor was, human looking. Not only that, but he was, all these Venus entities were, human looking and so beautiful they were like models, runway models. But anyway, there was a war between the moon and Venus, Earth's moon and Venus won. Was that also the reason why the moon looks like this now, or Mars looks like this now? Who knows? But Venus, of course, we can't live on Venus. From what they tell us, the atmosphere is toxic. But now UFO hunters have discovered a structure on Mars whose apparent geometry is eerily similar to a temple located on Earth in Japan. This enigmatic structure, visible on numerous satellite images of Mars, displays staggering similarities to an ancient Japanese tomb of Kofun, Kofun. While there are numerous images of alleged structures on Mars that can easily be dismissed as pareidolia, a massive Martian monument has fascinating similarities to the funerary complex in Japan, raising speculations that an ancient civilization did in fact inhabit Mars, perhaps millions of years ago. The massive structure on the surface of Mars is visible on Google Earth Mars, entering the following coordinates: 6 degrees 35707 north, 92 degrees 413.22 east. And to see the similarity between the alleged structure of Mars, visit Google Earth, type in the coordinates 36 74564 north, 139 28 52-95 east, which will take you to the Japanese tomb. A YouTube user who posted a video online believes the similarities between the two structures can only mean one thing: an ancient civilization once existed on Mars, and we are looking at its remains today. Many UFO researchers agree and claim that the structures identified on Mars probably went through millions of years of erosion, but its certainly visible shape is a definitive telltale sign that an ancient race most likely did inhabit Mars. The keyhole-shaped mold looks incredibly similar to what we have here in Japan, says YouTube user during the video. There are many interesting things about this mound that we found on Mars. First of all, its massive structure, and it appears to be very isolated. Flat, empty plain. The sides of the structure have straight edges that run down to a large circular dot formation at its base, just like the one we have here in Japan. Interestingly, despite the fact that there are many structures that can be dismissed easily as being natural formations, the two structures exhibit remarkable symmetry. But at the insistence of some users, NASA has taken the trouble to respond to alleged claims about the artifact structure, the artificial structure on Mars. The agency explained that the straight edges are the result of fractures or a natural hill formation forming a solid ground that has undergone changes in erosion for billions of years. And many people disagree with NASA and indicate the similarities cannot go unperceived, and we're looking at the remains of a once mighty Martian civilization that most likely disappeared millions of years ago after a catastrophic, some type of a nuclear war took place there, as Dr. Brandenburg suggests. Dr. Brandenburg believes that an old Martian civilization was wiped from the face of Mars in the distant past, and Dr. Brandenburg has a PhD in theoretical plasma physics from the University of California, and he's currently working as a plasma physicist at Orbital Technologies in Madison, Wisconsin. According to Brandenburg, ancient Martians known as Sidonians, we know the planet of Sidonia has the face and the pyramids on Mars. Ancient Martians known as Sidonians and Utopians were massacred in the giant nuclear attack, and evidence of the genocide can still be seen today. And according to scientists, there are very large traces of xenon 129 on Mars, and the only that's xenon, xenon 129 on Mars, and the only process that we know that produces xenon 129 is a nuclear explosion. So some kind of a nuclear explosion took place and destroyed the whole of Mars. This is from Ancient Code on Humans Are Free. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. I definitely think this is no coincidence. This Mars in Japan tomb type structure is too similar to be a coincidence. And I don't see how this could be a geological formation on Mars. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support.